Hi there, I'm Amy Connell. Welcome to Graced Health, the podcast for women who want simple and grace-filled ways to take care of themselves and enjoy a little chocolate in the process. I'm a certified personal trainer and nutrition coach who wants you to know your eating, movement, and body don't have to be perfect. You just need to be able to do what you're called to do. Okay, today's Ask the Trainer question is, where can I find inspiration for meals and menu planning? Now, I just made that up on the fly, by the way. I knew what I wanted to talk about, but I didn't have the question, and now I have one. Hopefully I can remember it when I go back and do the episode title. Anyway, okay, so this episode is dropping mid-January. And I don't know about you, but I typically like to reset. I try to get a little bit more creative in my January meal planning. And then I fizzle out because I'm tired of all the same stuff that I make. Now, granted, it doesn't necessarily happen like at the beginning of January, but I'm trying to set both of us up so that that doesn't happen if that happens to you. I wanted to share today a few of my go-to, and actually I have a new one in of recently, of places where I can go get inspiration. And these are in the forms of cookbooks. They are in the forms of online and also like online food bloggers. So we'll start off with the cookbooks, and I'll just tell you, this is what I do. When I get a cookbook that I like, I will open it up, and maybe this is a little nutso of me, which a lot of things that I do is nutso, but I will go through every single page, and if a recipe looks good, then I'll get one of those little bitty Post-it notes, like the ones that are maybe like half an inch wide and then an inch long, and I'll just put that in there. That way, when I am needing inspiration another time, I have already filtered it down a little bit to think, okay, what looks good or what doesn't? And so I can go through and flip through those and see if some of them look good. The first cookbook that I just will go to when I'm menu planning, when I'm needing inspiration, when I'm wanting something that's healthy but creative, is Run Fast, Eat Slow by Shalane Flanagan and Elise Kopecky. Now, if you've been with me a while, you're not surprised for me to say that. And they actually have another one called Run Fast, Cook Fast, Eat Slow. So the second one says that, these are recipes that you can do really quickly. I'll be totally honest, I don't really notice the difference in the time. I feel like both of them are, very moderate amounts of time. They're not too long. They're not too short. They're just really good recipes that are worth the time to do it. It is all whole food based. I eat mostly gluten-free. I'm not totally fussy about it, but there's a lot of gluten-free recipes in there just because that's just how they cook. And so that it's a really easy one for me to go in. There are some things that I change, but I love both of those cookbooks. And they have things like, from the first one, they had a beet hummus, which is really fun to take to parties and gatherings whenever we're allowed to do that, which we're not allowed to right now. But that's just kind of an interesting one to take. And look, it's pretty. It's pretty. And in fact, I think I talk about that in season 2 with the Instapot recipe or things that you can do in your Instapot, because I will cook a bunch of beets and then use those for this hummus. But that is a really great cookbook that I love. Now, if you like to have a plant-based or a very plant-heavy diet, I went through, we actually ate plant-based in 2020 for about 4 to 6 weeks. And so I invested in some cookbooks, and I still use them because they're just, quite frankly, they're just really good. And I want to share with you 3 of those. One of them is Minimalist Baker. They actually have a really great Instagram feed. So go check them out. They have really great stories as well. But they have, it's mostly gluten-free, plant-based recipes. Everything there I've tried, I really like, except one. I have found that nutritional yeast does not work super great with my digestive system. It just makes me really gassy, and who wants that? So I have to tweak some things with that. Another one that's really good is Engine 2 Diet by Rip Esselstyn, I think is how you say it. He basically developed this plant-based diet that is good for like the manly men, right? Like the dudes who want meat and potatoes, but they're trying to get a little bit healthier. And I think he created this for firemen, which makes sense with the Engine 2 diet, but that's another really good one. And then there's another one out there called Thug Kitchen. It has really great recipes. However, if you have sensitive eyes or children around, this may not be the cookbook for you. Their tagline of the book, or the subtitle of the book, is "Eat like you give a duck with a different first word or first letter of that word." And their whole thing too, I think, is to like reach, men who think that plant-based cooking is just for a bunch of hippies or something. I don't even know. So the recipes are great. They are hearty. They're obviously nutritious, but there's just F-bombs thrown out all through there. I mean, it's kind of excessive in my opinion. I mean, whatever. I don't have a problem with the word, but I don't know. It gets a little annoying in my opinion, but I don't think I'm their target market either. And then the final recipe book, or the final cookbook that I recommend, especially if you have littles. I used this one. It came out years and years ago, but Deceptively Delicious by Jessica Seinfeld. It's one of those where you take vegetables, puree them up, and then throw them in things like macaroni and cheese. That would not work with my people now, but it absolutely worked when my people were little. For the online space, my absolute number one go-to is One Lovely Life. By the way, I'm going to put all of this down in the show notes so you can check it out there. She just has really great family-friendly recipes. They're not too hard. I think everything there I've loved. I mean, and she has salads and soups and main meals and breads and all kinds of yummy things. So that's a really great one I love. Pinch of Yum. My friend Candace Harris loves and recommends. She was my Faster Way to Fat Loss coach, and you met her at the end of season 1 when we talked about the review and the experience. So if you have not met Candace, you are missing out because she's a fantastic person, but she talks about Pinch of Yum. And then another one I just found is Ambitious Kitchen. So that has been fun. In fact, I've been posting some of those on my Instagram, I'm sorry, not on the Instagram, on the Facebook Graced Health community page. If you're not a member there, come join us over there, because I've been finding some of those. I'm like, ooh, I want to try that. Ooh, I want to try that. And we'll just see how some of those goes. So hopefully that gives you some great inspiration for your menu planning, something that's healthy, nutritious, that it kind of sticks to your ribs if you're looking for that, and satiating and all of that kind of good stuff. Make sure you join us over at the Graced Health Community Facebook page. Again, the link is in below. Connect with me on the socials. I'm basically at Graced Health on Instagram and Facebook, and I don't have the time for Twitter, so I don't do it. Okay, that is all for today. Go out there and have a graced day.